Take
two, baby. God damn. Take two.
Are we going to admit why we're laughing?
Of course, I'm why we're laughing, Muriel.
Well, it's kind of putting you in a bad light because it was your suggestion. It is.
Your internet is shocking, so the software didn't work, basically.
I'm sorry, but I actually did an internet test speed, and it was actually at 29 MBs.
That's nothing.
Yes, it goes up to 40.
Well, here's 1,000, so
it goes up to 40. The internet speed test is out of 40, and I'm at 29. And when I was with Sky, it was in Cork City Centre. It was at 18. So now, there you go.
Could you sound more Cork there?
In Cork
City Centre, it was 18.
It's such a culty thing as well to be like in the city. I'm going up to the city.
How are you getting on?
Yeah, I'm grand. I'm literally, do you know what? I'm taking this lockdown one day at a time. I'm focusing on what I need to get done in that day, and I'm trying not to get overly like stressed out about what's going to happen. But
yeah, there's no point because there's nothing you can do about it. You just gotta head down and keep swinging.
Exactly. So yeah, but it's been good getting back into the swing of things now again with January, which is like next week is the last week in Jan.
My birthday's next week, kid.
Is it? So what is it? 43?
71.
Oh, sorry. Oh, last year was your 70th.
Yeah, oil of ole, lads. Top-notch stuff.
Oh my God. You are literally showing your age by saying that.
Well, that's what I know. I was literally, I have people attacking me. I'm not going to say what I was going to say. Forget about it.
Forget about it.
I get hate mail all the time anyway from this podcast. But
so do I, pal. It's okay.
Don't.
For their other reasons.
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah.
All G, other than that, work's going good.
Yeah, all is good. It's, do you know what? I like this time of year because I know obviously it's hard to plan for 12 months, right? Because it's like, you don't know. So I'm kind of just working quarter by quarter at the moment. And I'm really liking it because it's like, it's the start of the year. I always get really like full, fresh ideas this time of year when I'm like, have a good Christmas kind of rested. So I'm just like, even on my walks, I'm like, oh my God, that'd be a really good idea. Write it down. So my notes on my phone is like super long. But no, I love it. It's a good busy time of year for like planners, you know, like for my business, it's busy because people are like, help.
Yeah.
Oh, what do I do now? So so it's exciting and it's good to be back into it, and I'm liking the fact that I'm kept busy. And CIT is becoming Munster Technological University where I teach. So where the IT Tralee and CIT have merged.
My brother's there. My brother's doing it.
Is he a lecturer?
No, he's a student.
Oh, he's a student. Yeah.
He's doing marketing next year. Is there any correlation there? Would you be teaching? Or is it talk you teach?
As in he's an IT Tralee, is it?
Yeah.
Okay,
well, under the one university, are you kind of separating the duties, or?
Okay, listen, what we've done so far is change the logo, but it's going to be a lot of heavy lifting to actually, like, I feel like it's going to not affect people who are already in, you know, we'll say marketing second year, marketing third year, whatever, but it's going to probably start from scratch when, like, you know, people are going into first year, maybe not this year, or maybe in September of this year. I don't know. But yeah it's now MTU, which I kind of like. MTU, you know? Yeah, it's a
Munster University Technology could be mutt then. Good thing it's not.
Well, it's yeah, true. That's why Truly IT is IT Truly, like, you know.
Trust me, I know.
Yeah. But you know what? It's kind of exciting because, like, it's university status now, which is like amazing for both.
So you're a lecturer. Well, you were always a lecturer. Oh no, you weren't a lecturer at university. There you are.
Yeah, so I was a lecturer. Well, I mean,
exactly.
Lecturing in an IT and lecturing university, what's the difference, you know? But it's just it's good for, I think, people going to those two colleges that they have university status as well, because I think some people have a stigma against ITs, you know, that you didn't get to the university, but you work twice as hard and you get so much more out of it. So I'm like, yes.
I can just see you swilling the glass of wine at a Christmas party up in Montanati. Oh, I mean, birthday lecture, you see.
Oh, I know. But yeah, so that's kind of been an exciting time as well this year. So yeah.
So here, let's jump straight into news. So before, if you're wondering, we tried a podcast software. It failed miserably. Thanks, Muriel. And now we're trying it again.
Okay, so that's Jay's side of the story. My side of the story is yesterday Jay was like, oh, here, brah, I found like a really cool piece of software that we can use to record a podcast. He was like, hey, Doom. And I was like, oh, cool, interesting, fun. And then we tried to use it this morning and it was like, now I know what the newsreaders feel like when they're like, and now live to John in Timbuktu. And it's just actually, like this pause.
I'm going to cut in Bill Hurley. He's on the prompter. I can't see it. I'll cut that into this podcast.
Like, it's literally, it's just the fact that it's like this long delay. And like, I could see Jay's face was not reacting in real time. So I was like, nah. Yeah. So we've already like done the first segment of this, but we had to.
Yeah, we actually spoke. Well, I couldn't understand. You said something. I was like, didn't hear half what you were saying. But LinkedIn adds swipe up links to LinkedIn stories. Now hit me again because I lost the numbers when you were talking.
Yeah, that's all right. So last week, LinkedIn added swipe up to stories and they allowed business pages to have a swipe up without having, you know, the 10K or a minimum requirement. So whether you have 2 followers or whether you have 22 million followers on LinkedIn, you can actually add a link to your stories. And it works the same way as Instagram, where you just go up to the link at the top and you add any URL. So it doesn't have to link to your own website. It can be any URL at all. And you can add the call to action then to swipe up. And it works wonders. It's fine. And you get all the metrics afterwards. But for personal pages, you have to have a minimum of 5,000 followers, which I think is a bit more realistic for LinkedIn, even though they could have made it 2, because it's actually because there's less people on LinkedIn, right? So there's
how many followers do you even have? How many do I have? How do you even check that?
I actually don't know, but I think you go to your connections or something.
Connections. Oh, okay, 2,400, halfway there.
Hang on now.
Halfway there.
2,700.
No. Let's
I'm on LinkedIn. Yeah, we should be like, can we have a combined account, please? But anyway, you need to have a minimum of 5,000 followers, but you need to change the call to action on your page to follow, because right now it defaults to connect. So I think, do you know what? I think it's good if your account is growing and if you have 5,000 followers that you might not necessarily want to connect with a lot of people. Like you can still, like they still have the option to connect with you afterwards, but some people might just want to follow your content and you might know them and may not want to be connected with them, but you might want them to see your content, if that makes sense.
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah, so I think it would cut out, even for like content creators on LinkedIn, then it might actually cut out the kind of sales pitch that you get in your inbox, and people can still see your content that they might need or value, but you're not getting the whole like, hello, do you want to buy some doors? Yeah, so look, I mean, it's interesting, but you know how I feel about LinkedIn stories, that they're not getting as much traction because most people use desktop to use LinkedIn, so stories is kind of wasted on that platform. But look,
and obviously the text doesn't look amazing, the stickers aren't great, so when you're prompting them to swipe up, it just doesn't look great altogether.
No, but record it or edit it offline. So like I create mine off of LinkedIn stories and then just upload it and add whatever text or call to action in your video editor.
Did you get that cup at Amplify? Sorry,
Jay's pointing at my cup, the KBC cup.
Yeah,
I got this at the Marketing Institute ball.
Oh, that's yes, I had the same. Yeah, I knew I got it from somewhere as well.
Yeah, it was 2018?
19.
No, 19. No, because it didn't happen in 2020 and 2019 we got different swag. I'm pretty sure I have this since the first one.
I was at both. Is the first one was at where?
The first one I went to was in 2018 in Rochestown.
I had deja vu right there. How weird is that? I've seen this before, and you've said that to me before.
They're in Rochestown. They're in Rochestown. That is weird. They're in Rochestown every year, aren't they? Yeah.
No, they were in Cork Airport last time. Remember? Yeah, Cork International, or the fancy airport.
Well, that was the Cork Digital Marketing Awards.
Oh yeah.
I'm talking about
Sorry,
the ball, the
I am
bomb
now
ball.
I am now blacklisted from all events. They're like, who is he and how dare he get us mixed up?
Dare he? Yeah, and like basically, it was my first year because I had just come back from Toronto. And I was at the Marketing Institute ball. And look, there's Marketing Institutes, Dublin, Cork, wherever. So I went to the Cork one. And the swag bag, I couldn't get over it. I was like, this is amazing. Just all the stuff in it. So I don't know. That's
While
what
we're
I remember.
While we're talking about it, I saw come up yesterday the AIM Awards, the Marketing Awards, the All Ireland Marketing Awards.
Oh, yeah.
Are you entering? It's to do with the Marketing Institute of Ireland, obviously. Will you be entering at all? Do you any companies you be entering? Thoughts on Marketing Awards?
I mean, they're not the worst. I did judge last year's. I was one of the judges on last year's DMAs, which I actually enjoyed. And I think I like being on that side of it. Is that weird?
Yeah, remember my room 101. I was doing a massive rant about awards and all that stuff, and you're like, "Yeah, I can't talk because please don't do that, Jay. You'll get me in trouble."
Yeah, I actually quite liked the judging process of that because I think it's like just from like correcting assignments and stuff, I'm kind of like in that mode and I know what I'm looking for, so I do like that. But I do think if you have a campaign that you're like, this is worthy, I do find that a lot of people just enter just to have their name somewhere, because especially for like free awards, for example, a lot of people just enter to have their name there. But you really have to have something that stands out, or that is actually something that got results, instead of being like, oh, I posted on Facebook 3 times last year and I'm entering myself, and then you're shortlisted or whatever and you're like, amazing. But then it's really, when it's down to like the crux of it, it's when like what I looked for anyway was like, are these people actually being strategic? Are they rolling out exactly what they said they do? Are they getting results? Or are they kind of just entering to have their name there again, So I think if you have something worthy, definitely enter it. And if it is, as good as you say it is worthy of the award, and then I think you're a worthy recipient. But all of these kind of shortlists, I think we need to wait until they get to like finalist status to really show the value of what you've done. So I agree, but then I'm also like...
Yeah, you kind of restored my faith in it as well, a small bit, because I knew when you were judging, it's completely fair and honest. Where in the past, I've honestly believed that, because this person's doing this, they got the nod and this kind of stuff. But then when you said, look, I'm one of the judges, I'm like, fair enough. I know you're not going to fuck around.
Yeah, literally, Jay came up to me and he was like, I'm going to put awards in my 101. I was like, no. Please don't.
You censored me, woman. Well, look, the aimsaward.ie, you can enter online. It's €120 per entry. I just think as well, for small businesses to win these kind of awards, it's a great little mark fee that you're doing a good job, and it's a nice boost fee as well.
And you know what? Because because you have to pay, then people will really enter things that they've worked really hard on and that they think are worthy of entering. And those are the kind of awards I think that people should enter if they have something that's worthy, so that you are willing to invest because you believe in something. And I think then that's like, if you're literally like, I won an award for a campaign that I did, people are going to be like, can you do my campaigns?
Yeah, exactly. It's a nice little trophy hole for you. TikTok adds new Q&A option to enable fans to post questions for creators. So this rolled out yesterday, was it? This week it came out?
Yeah, I haven't seen it anywhere yet, but I mean,
no,
a lot of people do go live on TikTok to get like those awards, the rewards that you can give to people when they go live. So when they're like, they used to drive people to their Instagram account and be like, I've posted a Q&A on my story and I'm going to cover it in a live on TikTok. So now at least they can do the Q&As and possibly go live and get some rewards for them. But yeah, look, I think it's just that TikTok they kind of every so often need to keep adding to what creators can do. But like TikTok numbers have gone way up now again, because obviously the majority of the world is back in a full lockdown. So it's a good time to even keep like creating content on TikTok and just getting to know it. Like, you can start today. You can start right now. The craziest things go
and it's
viral.
not for dads and teenage girls. I hate hearing that. It actually boils my blood. It's not just for teenage girls. It is such a powerful platform, and you can really grow so fast, so easily. Well, more organically, I should say, not easily.
Yeah, and speaking of teenagers, last week they did reveal that they are cracking down on like privacy for teens. So automatically your account, if you're under 17, is going to default to a private account, and you'll only allow, like, you can have more comment controls. So you'll only allow friends to comment on your videos. Now, with this whole update that happened last year with this new kind of buy-in, they any account of somebody under 13 is automatically deleted. Now, unfortunately, that's poured into some accounts that are of 13-year-olds, and they've had their accounts banned or gone, and it's just a pour into what happened last time. But there's ways of getting it back. But they really have tightened up the controls for young teens, and I think it's good because, like, people can be so harsh on TikTok, and like when you expose yourself in your TikTok videos, you're really just, you know, putting yourself out there, and people can be so harsh. Like, you know, I was on the end of it a few times, and they don't care. So exposing teens to that kind of online harassment is just, I don't think it's right. So at least now they're trying to like crack it down so that it's like you can talk to your friends and create content for your friends, but you really should keep it to friends only until you get to a certain age.
How gutted would you be as a teenager and have your TikTok destroyed or banned, and you're like, that was my life?
Yeah, and I actually had a few people get onto me, like parents who were like, oh my God, my daughter's account is gone, help me. So there is ways of getting it back, though. There is like a step by step. But yeah, I'd be absolutely crushed.
And were they more responsive than Facebook?
Well, yeah, but it's more of like a systemic thing, or a system logistical thing.
You know?
Yeah. Oh, it's there. And I think that TikTok are definitely going to be a lot more proactive, because Instagram are like, if it went in like terms of ghosting, I think Instagram just like take the prize. Facebook and Instagram are like, yeah, we're not going to.
They just do not care. Yeah, tough. Sorry, bro. You said penis in a post. Blocked.
Yeah.
Well, Facebook's removing our story sections from the pages next month. That was bound to happen. Like, it's just a pain in the hole, really. But they're removing it and putting it into additional information. So they're not removing it altogether. So you can prompt followers to go to the our story in additional information. If people want to find out more about you, they can find it in the additional information.
I think that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. It took up so much real estate on the right end of a page. I was on desktop, obviously, on the phone. It's kind of there. But like, that could be a little carousel of videos or something, products or something like it's just much easier, much better, more useful.
Agreed. Yeah, I'm not a fan of clunkiness anyway, and I just think it's better. Like, this is all coming with the new Facebook page update anyway. But yeah, I mean, do you ever go to the our story section?
It was like, hey, write a blog about your business. It's like, I haven't written a blog in 6 years. Okay, let's all do it together. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. What are you talking about?
Yeah, podcasts are basically just blogs now. Like they
have a podcast section. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where it's with the player in the podcast section. God damn it, Facebook.
Look, maybe, I don't know.
Sure, she doesn't know, lads. If she doesn't know, we don't know.
Come here. Have you joined Clubhouse, the new app?
No, I haven't. I thought Clubhouse was the yellow app that everyone plays games on. Is that same thing? Different thing?
No. Oh no. This is for
Hot House or something. Was it? Anyway, go on.
Maybe.
At the start of the first lockdown, yeah, it was like everyone was on there and doing games and chatting.
Are you talking about House Party?
Yes, that's what I'm talking
about. Yeah. No.
Clubhouse is what?
Clubhouse is basically an app for professionals, and it's kind of like an audio meeting room and audio networking where there's multiple speakers. Now, I'm only on it a few days, and I had to turn off the notifications because, my God, they're constant. Because once you join, it's kind of like, it's like this person's joined a room, but it's like you're getting worldwide notifications. So I had to switch that off because, mother of God, no.
Yeah.
But I haven't spent too much time in it. But there's a lot of, like, basically when you're on it, you can you get like, you've all of these interests that you have to fill out, and then it basically puts you into like these categories. So if you say you're interested in like marketing, it'll put you in this like marketing bubble, and then you'll get all of these pings to be like, this meeting has started or this conference has started, and then there's like 2 or 3 guest speakers, and it's all through audio. And then it's like they all have conversations, they talk about what's happening. So I think it's interesting to treat it kind of like a podcast that like is more interactive, because you can like have little comments and stuff with people and connect with people. So it's kind of like global networking, but based off of like expert-led content.
Are you ready for this tagline? Are you ready for this goddamn tagline?
Are you ready? Are you ready?
Global networking on an intimate level.
I like it. Global networking on an intimate level. Yeah.
It's €275 plus VAT.
Don't forget the VAT. Yeah. So there you go. See, that's Jay's thing. Jay just like in there with taglines. Love it. But yeah, so it's kind of like trending the past couple of weeks for, we'll say, like networking professionals and people who want to like, it's just basically for lockdown if people are missing that networking vibe. And I think it's good to even just hear other people just like talking and like having that networking situation. And I know it's harder to network like this, even like us chatting now, but it's at least it's just there and it's something for people to do. The thing is there longevity in it after we get out of lockdown?
Who knows?
We'll see.
If it's done properly, if it, like, my mind is racing now saying, should we do one? Should we have a little conference or else chatting and this kind of stuff to see if there's a global audience to the podcast? Like if you're driving traffic to somewhere.
That's the thing. But I think it's just more like there's like, we'll say guest speakers on different topics. And I get that it's perfect in place of an event that you would have had, right? So even we'll say like Social Media Dublin or something, and they decide to just do it that way. It's like, it's very, very cost effective for them, and it still allows people to learn. But I just think that once lockdown lifts, I think events are going to absolutely like skyrocket, because people are going to be like, when we're all vaccinated, obviously, like I think that people are literally going to be like, get me to an event, like get me into clothes that are not like top half, like, dressed up, bottom half, like ready for a run. I'm exposing myself here, but I think that's going to happen.
Show us your tracksuit bands.
I would, but I have a blanket on my knees. But
Joe, are you actually wearing tracksuit pants?
I'm wearing tracksuit pants and boots. Yeah.
You're like that person running into Tesco's at 9:30 in the morning to get bread because they forgot it for the breakfast.
However, I would never leave the house in my pajamas. Now that's next level.
That's next level devotion. We'll check that out, definitely, Clubhouse, and we might do something. Maybe we'll see.
Potent. We've a long lockdown ahead of us, so yeah.
I don't know about this next one. I read it this morning. It's the first I've heard of it. It happened last week, but it's the first I've heard of it. Instagram's testing an option to unhide total like counts and posts. Now they're saying it's because TikTok has the area you can see how many likes that has and the analytics, that stuff. But obviously in the back end we can see it, but the consumer can't per se. But there was a reason they did it. It was for mental health. It was for people not to be freaking out over, I only got 10 likes. So yay and nay, I just don't know about it.
Do you know what I think is confusing that though? Is the fact that Instagram Reels shows you how many likes and comments something has, but a normal feed post doesn't. So I think that's confusing their algorithm. And I think there's a lot of things causing glitches in Instagram anyway. And the fact that you can see likes on the Reels and not on anything else is conflicting their platform, their users, and the algorithm. So they're either going to be like all or nothing.
Well, the joy of this is it is like the mute. It's up to you. You can hide the like count. You can turn it off and turn it on. So if you want your followers to see how many likes it's got, like I can see brands, I can see probably influencers wanting to see the like counts and this kind of stuff. Maybe not Joe Soaps who don't really care or who kind of have a small bit of mental health issues that don't like it, and they can turn it off, and that's the way it is. And
yeah, it's definitely a brand thing. It's like any brands that work with influencers, they're always looking for screenshots of insights and everything. So just even publicly to see how something's going, I think that they're, they are more interested in just seeing a metric versus having to scroll and manually count how many likes something got, or is getting in real time. So Yeah, I mean, I preferred it when it was not showing, just because, again, just thinking about like younger people and how that affects, they're just constantly seeking like gratification, and likes was a huge part of that. And like, that's why it's just kind of sad if that comes back and then people are like, why aren't you showing your likes? You're not getting any or whatever. And
Yeah. Hopefully it doesn't come to that, but wait and see. I have some news from the marketing world. I have two news stories, which I found interesting. I think you might find interesting. So Domino's merges its digital and marketing teams for the first time ever.
Love that.
2021, broski. So
can everybody else do that?
So the former Costa Coffee CMO, Sarah Byrne, has been appointed lead and restructuring the team. So the CEO said it's about time we did it. It's going to be support and increase the digital investment of the company. I would have thought bigger companies like this would have done this sooner, but obviously not.
Well, they're huge. Like those types of teams are massive. So like, even like, I know that like you worked with a couple of bigger brands as well, but like their offices, like any big brand HQ, usually there's 1 or 2 floors or possibly 3 or 4 floors that are just traditional marketing. And there could be a whole other building that's digital. So even just from like logistics, and now obviously with remote learning, it's a lot easier to collaborate. But logistically, it was always about, oh, they're over there and we're over here.
And they never spoke to each other, ever.
No, but the thing is, if you're on a media plan, right, and you're looking at PR, marketing, digital, like all of these outlets, they're all separate. They all have different line items, and they're all fighting for the budget to fight for their jobs. So it was always this thing where like, well, PR got this, and well, this got that, and like, but cinema did really well, but no, but like social did well. And it's like they're always conflicting. And I think that that's just, this is a whole other topic about like company culture, but I think that it shouldn't be like, what is the budget going into more, because that way that team will grow versus the other team. I think if you have a collaborative effort and you all work together, and there's no issue of like competition or like your budget's cut, so mind your job, then people work better together. And like, there's no point in having one campaign on a bus and another campaign on your website or on your socials that just don't even talk to each other. So yeah, people should learn a lot from this, I think.
100%. You can check it out, marketingweek.com. Domino's merged digital and marketing teams. Another one which was interesting was MasterCard implemented a risk management team into their marketing team.
Okay.
They hired early 2018, I think it was, to bring a risk team into the marketing team. So they keep a sharp eye out on any upcoming things like the pandemic. MasterCard were completely ready because they had the risk assessment team working full time on seeing the upcoming risk assessments. And they had a full strategy coming into this and why they should have pivot here and there. I thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah, I think I just got confused when you said risk assessment, because they're a company that would have that for their own things. But obviously this is like external factors, risk assessment. Yeah, makes sense.
Global risk assessment or market risk assessment, you can even say.
Yeah.
There you go. That was my interesting news of the week. The what's it called report is out as well. You haven't had a chance. I haven't had a chance. The We Are Social report.
Yeah, let's have a chat about that next week.
Yeah, if you look at the wearesocial.com, I think it is, and then you can find Ireland, and then you can see all the updates and stuff.
It's the yearly Hootsuite / We Are Social collaborative report.
What are your thoughts on online conferences? I know you're talking about, you've spoken one or two of them. I'm just looking at one like the Festival of Marketing and this kind of stuff where it's £190 to talk or to be attending. I'm like, a lot of money. That's for me to sit in my computer at home.
Well, I think that like there's online workshops and there's online networking. So if it's a case where like, now with the audio thing, I think that's useful because like I could be going for a walk and just decide to go into Clubhouse and have a listen to whatever's going on, because you pick up things anyway, like a podcast. Yeah. But I think with this, it's more that people, like if you're going to get something out of it. So if I see that there's an interesting speaker happening or speaking at a lot of events, and I think that online events will up their game this year anyway with getting speakers, because it's easier to get speakers because they're not tied up with other commitments, because where are they going? So if I saw like really interesting brands or really interesting speakers that I'm like, oh, I'd love to hear you talk now, or like I would pay if it was like a full day conference and it included networking. So if it was like €200 and there was like, we'll say the head of like Google Analytics and the head of like, we'll say like Instagram product, I'd be like, yes, I want to listen to this, because they'll basically give you like what they're working on, what insights they're getting from their platform, and then maybe there is like a submit a Q&A section, or even in the chat section, then at least you're talking to like-minded individuals, so you're like, oh, this is kind of an interesting, so I think something like that I would definitely invest in, and like it's a day that you're taking to learn. And like a lot of online workshops and webinars, like I host them, like I do them myself. Like some of them I've done like 4-hour long ones, and like I try, like I'm super engaging, you know me, I'm great crack, like, but it is like, it's like once you make it engaging and like people have like takeaways and they're doing stuff and they're practical, like they get a lot out of it. So I think it's what you want to get out of it, as opposed to like, I have to watch the same thing on the screen for like 8 hours. Like they will mix it up and they'll have like chopping and changing. So I think they'll make a huge effort with online events. But the only thing is like, it is so dependent on technology, and I love technology, but like it can happen where a live stream doesn't work, or like you can't, and
software.
You have these people who are like, I can't hear what they're saying and whatever. But
if you paid 130 quid or 40 quid and you can't hear the speakers, you'd be furious.
Exactly.
But again, technology.
Yeah. That's it. But I think it's worth, like, I honestly do think it's worth investing in, like, in upskilling and like learning. But if you can see that, like, I would be looking at speakers. It's the same when I go to any music festival. I look at who's playing. And if I don't know any of the artists, I'm like, what am I actually paying for here? Yeah. So do your research. But if you do think that you're going to really get something out of it, like, make the most out of that day. Like, make your notes, make your coffees, like block off your calendar for the day from anything else, and find out who's going. Like, go open Twitter, look up the hashtag, network with people. Like, you'll get a lot out of that, I think. What do you think?
Yeah, no, I've especially from attending events live, obviously. I was just because I have yet to actually attend a conference online. I've done a few webinars, I've done a few classes, a few lessons here and there, but never a conference. So to me, it sounds kind of confusing, and I'm like, £180 is a lot of money. I think it was just more of a fear scenario, but you broke it down pretty well there. So I'll look at it. Nuts. The thing is, I don't see many huge speaker names. So that's, again,
there you go. Yeah.
Here and there, maybe.
Yeah.
But I love going to a proper conference where you actually learn. Like Facebook conferences are always good.
Yeah.
Amplify was quite good. I always enjoyed them. There was some good stuff there. Mm-hmm. I'm looking forward to kind of that work going back, where we can actually go up to Dublin, or we can go to Amsterdam, or wherever the conferences are, and just kind of learn.
Yeah.
Right.
It's so funny because every time you say like, oh, I don't know if I like that, and then I'm like, it's like we're at a debate, and I'm like, here are my points of why I think you should like it, and then you're like, maybe.
Yeah, exactly. Work wife. Okay, honey, I'll go. I'll do it. Stuff.
Oh, I love it.
Our Room 101s, or Pro Bonos, or Follow the Week, you call it.
I think let's go with our Pro Bonos.
Pro Bonos. So Pro Bonos this week is Sean's pencils. Let me get it up here on my laptop. If you're good to go, shoot away, girl.
All right, let me get it on my
pencils
IG.
by Sean. Excuse me.
Yeah. So hi, Sean. Okay, so I started following Sean over just before Christmas, I'd say. And so it's pencils _by _Sean. And he's a pencil carver, but it's honestly, it's works of art that this guy does on his, on pencils, basically. But it's just stunning. Like, it's just a really, like, if you just want to follow an account that on your feed, you'll see these gorgeous, like, stunning, like, photographs and like pencil art, just to take you away for those few seconds from, whatever's going on in your day, and appreciate this, like, beauty. Then give him a follow, definitely. And I think, like, it's just so interesting to see, like, the kind of difference that it makes. And he makes things like he carves he carves people's names into different pencils, and like what an amazing gift that would be. And it's so unique and so different, and he can frame them as well. So basically they're like framed pictures that there's like pencils in them, and they make out a word or they make out a name. And I think it's just a really unique gift. And this year or last year, what that's taught us is support, obviously, you know, Irish, or support small business, but support like the crafts.
Creators.
Yeah. And I think that this is like, just, I suppose that's just kind of an insight into his account. But I think just like aesthetically, this guy takes really good photographs. So like the quality of these pictures is insanely good. I do think that, like, obviously there's no branding in any of the pictures, and I get that aesthetic is kind of what he's going for, is like the clean look of like non-branded, like nothing that's clunky. But I do think a watermark or a frame or a border or something that just allows the like your branding to be present every so often just for recall would be good. I actually quite like his logo. But I definitely think that like with the pictures, you could be going for like an aesthetic where maybe you're framing your pictures from now on that has like, obviously you just have white and black in your logo. So even just having a white or a black frame with a watermark now and then, maybe every middle picture or every picture on the right will have something to do with your branding on it. And just a call to action that people can, you know, support you by, I know obviously he's reopening soon again, but just support, like people can support you by, you know, reaching out via DM. I don't see a website here. So reaching out via DM to actually order, or DM to order, so that people know they could actually reach out to you to do something like this for, you know, their significant other or their friend. And, you know, I always say it, branded highlights.
Branded. Oh yeah.
Branded or just like nicer highlights or whatever. And he has dabbled in reels, and I know I spotted that before as well. So, you know, and like you can see the first reel got like 3,000, like almost the same amount of followers that he has. So yeah, keep that up. I definitely think that content wise, like there's a lot there, but I just think there needs to just be that bit of oomph and branding.
Yeah. You covered a lot of things there, mainly everything I was going to say. So thanks for that.
Great minds.
No, you're right though. But even if, I know you're saying we open February 2021, as you said, DM to order or DM to pre-order, like you get the amount of cash flow you can get by pre-orders, you'd be so surprised at these kind of things. I would focus on a small, even for Q1 and Q2, even dabble in influencer marketing, where you kind of gift influencers these things, hit them up saying, hey, love your page, or like pure example, no, be like, what's her name? Jordan, is it Lisa Jordan?
Yeah,
just Jordan. Like I know she's always about her kid on her stories and stuff. If you were to give the child's name in that kind of just I know it'll take it's product and effort and stuff, but you'd be surprised how much this will actually boost your company and your awareness. Logo looks great. It's probably just him by himself. Are those actually the lead of the pencil? He's actually that's so cool.
I know,
dude, you're killing it. That's so cool. And I love the idea of the seasonal style. Like he has the Christmas there. He's looking to do Halloween. You could do summertime. Like there's so many cool ways he can go about it. I would look at influencer marketing. I would kind of team up with one or two of them to test the response, see how it goes. A few giveaways is always handy if you want to grow fast. Giveaways, isn't it?
Yeah, and do you know what? Like, I'm actually, because when I was looking at his account, I remember at the start, I was like, I need to make sure this guy is on TikTok, because that kind of stuff is like the process of seeing it happen on TikTok would be like insane. So I actually looked him up, and he has 31,000 followers on TikTok and like 887,000 likes. So yeah, he understands content creation.
Yeah.
I think we need a bit more of this on Instagram, to be honest, Sean. Like, there's a lot of stuff here that like I'm going to absolutely stalk your account now for the rest of the day. But there's a lot of content on here, like ASMR. Like, hello, we do love our ASMR.
I hate ASMR.
You're not even saying it right.
Exactly. Shut up. Exactly how much I hate it. Follow you, Sean. Just follow your kid. Class. I love it. it. Keep going, my man. You're doing really, really well. Best of luck with everything in the new year.
Yep.
Best of luck with everything. Not Pro Bono. Room 101.
Okay, so you go first. I feel like I go first all the time and completely take over the
No,
conversation.
you're fine. Jesus, you're fine. People want to hear you. They don't want to hear me.
I know.
TikTok lives. We touched on it earlier. There's so many people doing the stupidest things, just like sleeping or eating, and it's live, and they're looking, they're going, "Oh, hi guys." I'm like, "What are you doing?" Like, but I'm getting notifications, obviously, because TikTok are pushing live videos, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting they're popping up on my thing. I'm like, "This is the worst thing ever!" Like, and it's just there's no meaning to it. Don't go live unless you have a meaning to go live. If you want to engage with your fans and talk and Q&A, great. If you're doing something, great. Don't just do it for the sake of doing it.
Yeah. Mm.
No,
If it was any other channel, I'd be saying yes, but they're like TikTok is just full of like an anything goes situation. Like there's people who are like, remember that guy that went live for like 90 days or 60 days or whatever straight.
but that was
And
a goal. That was a goal. I'm going live for 60 days.
yeah,
Not I'm working. Like this would literally, I've seen ones where guys just like working away and it's just
yeah,
live. It's like,
yeah.
what are you doing?
But it's weird because people watch that. Like people, I don't know. I don't, maybe it's a thing where like they find comfort in just like maybe it's company for
People,
them. Like there's reasons behind everything, and
yeah.
there's reasons why people watch them, but also people go live because they get some cash monies, like, you know.
Yes, they do and they don't. It all depends on what they're doing. That
True.
sounded that sounded devious, but I didn't mean it like that.
Do something
You,
funny.
yeah, do something funny or I'm not tipping you. Go for
Oh,
it.
okay. So my room 101, and I know I kind of covered it a little bit now and then.
Hey, puppy in the background.
Yeah, you can see my dog
Hey,
over. Hello,
what's his name?
Lucky.
Lucky. How
Hmm.
lucky?
Because he almost died as a little puppy when he was born. He was born without a heartbeat, and then they just like were like, "Poof," and then like they kind of shook him and woke him up, and he was alive, and now he's here. So he's a lucky.
Has he been there the entire time?
No, the entire time.
I didn't even notice. Sorry, go on. The listeners are the private listener going, what are they talking about?
Yeah, go watch our YouTube channel, and you'll see my
Yeah,
dog.
that's
He's
great.
literally just
Yeah.
staring at the camera. He'll settle himself there now in a sec. So my thing is about brands working with influencers. And I know we kind of cover this a little bit, but I'm seeing it a lot more now because obviously people are using more influencers now that we're in lockdown. But brands using influencers and not giving them a voice. So this happens with a lot of new brands that have one budget for, let's say, 10 influencers, and they pay them to feature a product on their Instagram feed or their stories, and they give them
It's
what
true.
they want them to say. And it's so salesy, and they want obviously like 10 call to actions of like, follow this page, do this, da da da, and like giving them competitions where they have to, like, people have to jump through hoops to enter a competition, and then like seeing, results like not that much commentary, not that much entries, getting frustrated and feeling like they didn't, like their investment was a waste, and then giving out that influencer marketing doesn't work. It has to go both ways. Like, I'm sure, and I know you've worked with a couple of
Mhm.
influencers before, and I found that the most successful way of working in a partnership with a brand and an influencer is the brand needs to respect that the influencer has their own channel, their own voice, and their own followers. Once you go out of that narrative and you start saying things like, I can't believe I never heard of this brand before, my skin really blah blah blah, and it's like it's so out of sync to what they normally say that people can call it, and they're like, nope, that's not you talking, that's a copy and paste from an email. I'm probably not going to use your discount code because it's such a blatant ad. So
But so you're also jeopardizing the reputation of the influencer by doing that.
yes, exactly. And I think that influencers need to, like, there's a contract that brands give to influencers, but equally, I think there should be an influencer contract coming right back to the brand to say, yes, I'll work with you, but here's actually my brand guidelines. Like, here's
Mhm.
how how I work, and this is what
Yeah.
I do. So I think that like it's something that, like, I know that bigger influencers have this because they have agents who are like controlling the narrative, but for like micro influencers to just like, it's okay to just say it back and be like, look, if you give me the product, I'll send you what I'm thinking in terms of copy, in terms of content, and you sign off on it, but this is as far as I'll go as you know, as much of the ad content that you want, but this is as far as I'll go in terms of what I say about you, because otherwise it's not going to land. I know my followers, they will not respect this type of lingo, and just have it as a conversation versus like the brand being like, here's a product, here's the line that I want you to say, and copy and paste it into your caption and post it at 7 p.m. like tonight, you know?
Yeah.
So,
If you're an influencer who has 3,000 to 50,000 followers, give or take, whatever. If you are micro, that's even too big for micro. If you 3 to 15,000 followers, you have a say in the argument. You have a say in this matter. It's not, oh, thank you, sir. Thank you for picking me as a brand. Thank you. Thank you. It's like, no, you have to protect yourself as well. Or you come off as that person who is reading the script, who is this sellout, who is just going, hey, I love this product. Have a say in the matter, because if you don't, in the long run, it will sting you big time.
Agreed.
That was a good one, kid. That was a good one.
Thanks.
Follow of the week.
Finally.
Kid.
So my follow of the, okay. I'll let you say it, but we both have the same follower of the week. And because of that, I'm going to let Jay talk about this account that we're talking about. So Jay, I feel like I need to do like a drum roll.
Yeah. So I am delighted to announce today, of all days, is the official launch of my new advertising agency called Ad32. Ad32. So that is our follow of the week. Ad32, we're a full service agency. We cover everything: creative, branding, strategy, design, social media, production, everything. We cover it all. Based in Cork, but we work globally. So yeah.
So like, I mean, shout out to your website. Give us like it's AD_32, isn't it?
No, so for actually, this is what I want to do as well with you. You are going to be the first person the page follows live on air. Click. Ad32 just followed you, kid. So it's ad32agency.com is our website. ad32agency.com.
I'm your first follower as well. So, you need to follow yourself.
I know, yeah. Well, I didn't want to draw any attention because I was working on it. And, you know, if people are following, they'd see it all the time.
So this was going to be my shout out of the week as well, because you've been working so hard on this for months now. And to be fair, like you like people know what you're doing, and it was just like, why are you not doing it yet? Like, why are you not officially doing this as a business for yourself?
This is what I said to you, that I was because I love marketing, because I do this with you, because I'm in this world. I don't want to fuck it up. I don't want to be a fuck up at it. So I was like, I'm not taking the risk. I'm happy where I am.
Yeah.
But when I went away and I decided, I got one with myself. I said, look, you need to start doing what you love, really. So all in.
And I really respect that. And that's exactly what I did last year. And I think people listening, like there's probably a lot of people listening now who may have that fear as well of like, what are you doing? What if it's a failure? And that's actually applicable to everyone who starts a business, is that fear of failure. But like, I think that you just need to trust in your skill. And I think that you have a really good skill. Like your Instagram account, like everyone go follow it. But I just love the layout of it. It's so different. Like it's not like, you know, an aesthetic that you'd look at and be like, you know, it's not kind of like a copy and paste aesthetic, and it's kind of like a timeline. And I just think it's like it makes it come together.
The idea of it, where I want to tell a story through the timeline of the 9 posts, where if you go to the very first post, it's the first prototype of the when I was messing around with logos, and it works through then of my process of building the brand, building how it goes, where I am, my history, this kind of stuff. So on Instagram, it's ad32agency, AD32AGENCY.
Yeah, and I think it's perfect because it actually shows everything that you do.
Yeah, and I have a video coming at 12 o'clock with the launch, and that will be my branded highlight of my services and stuff like that. So
and well done, congrats, and it's a really big day for you, and it's well deserved. And people get on it, like you know your branding and you know your ads. So, and it's interesting because it's like you do the full suite, right? So like if somebody was like, I want to do an ad campaign, but I want to do it on everything, like everything, billboards, radio, TV, cinema, like socials. Just Jay's your man.
And that way we can connect it. It's a proper story that you're not going to 3 different companies, but do 3 different things, and the branding's mixed and the story's mixed. We're a one-stop shop. My goal for this is for us to be, I want to release a Christmas video, like the Super Value ones, all these kind of ones, and have us on the podcast discuss it and what do you think? Why do you? That's like my history and my lesson of my I've learned storytelling from day one of storytelling, and that's exactly what I'm going to do with this. I'm going to tell stories for friends.
Yeah, and I love that, and I think it's great. And for anybody like that who, you know, doesn't have a message or doesn't know what to say or doesn't know how to frame something, like, definitely at 32
Thank
Agency.
You. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it now.
Yeah, you got this. So yay. There you go. That's both of our followers of the week.
Yeah. Come here. We've been talking forever. How long are we talking?
I don't know, a million years. It feels longer because we messed up at the start.
Because you messed up earlier.
You sent the wrong link, or you sent a really bad. I'm gonna actually, do you know what? Riverside FM? Nah.
I'll take full responsibility for that. I will.
That's weird. You never do your growing up. Look at you.
I know. Sure, look.
Admitting that you're wrong. All right, go on. Listen, enjoy the day of your launch. Enjoy everything, and we wish you well. And
appreciate it. This podcast is sponsored by Republic of Work, republicofwork.com. If you want to check out their online events, they have lunch and learns every week, and they have mini conferences and stuff going, so do check them out.
I'm actually giving a lunch and learn in the next couple of weeks. I think it's the 2nd of Feb. Just, you know, so Angie doesn't kill me. The 2nd of Feb, lunch and learn is with me. I'm gonna be covering short form video and the evolution of it and the trends.
Oh, nice. I'll check that out also.
Yeah.
I'll be there. So republicofwork.com if you want to get tickets for Muriel's Lunch and Learn.
Lunch and Learns are free, aren't they?
Yeah, it's just have to send up to Eventbrite just so you get the link to your email. Review us, guys, if you are listening to Apple Podcasts. 40% of our listeners, Muriel, are not subscribed on Apple Podcasts. Can you believe that? 40%. Just subscribe. We pop in. You're happy out. You don't miss an episode. If you're listening on Spotify, do like us and follow us. We appreciate all the love, guys. Thank you so much for everything.
Okay, bye.
Bye.